Hi everyone, Mrs. Denham here. Just wanting to show you some features on the iPad that help make it a little bit more accessible. They're mainly things that are aimed to help if you find reading or spelling or writing a little bit trickier, but to be honest I think they are features that would help anybody who's using an iPad. So the first thing I want you to learn is if you go into settings and accessibility, then you will see here it says spoken content, and in there you can switch on speak selection. That will mean that if you want to hear a small bit of text that's written on a website or on a bit of notes, if you want to read that, you can click a button and it will read it for you. Or speak screen, which is the other one to switch on, which means you can swipe down with 2 fingers from the top of your screen and it will read the whole screen of text to you. So just make sure those are switched on if you think you'll find them useful. I'll come back out of there, and now we're going to look at a website. So we're going to go to Safari, and I've got a web page here about the Romans. Now you'll notice this is quite a busy web page. There's lots of figures, numbers, pictures, different diagrams, and for some people that would seem a little bit busy and overwhelming, and different sizes of font and different colours of font. So what you can do is at the top there is a capital A, a small capital A and a large capital A, and if you click on that and then show reader view, it simplifies the page for you into more like a worksheet or a Word document. It's exactly the same text, but all the extras have been taken away to make it a lot clearer for you. Now you can do that with pretty much any website in the whole wide world, and you could print it off like that, you could take notes from it like that, or some people just prefer to read from the internet on a page that's a bit more simplified. Once you've got it like that, I can then highlight a bit of text by pressing down and pulling along, and then you'll notice in my black speech bubble it says speak, because I switched on my speak option.
The Romans invaded other countries too. The Roman Empire covered much of Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East.
Okay, now if I wanted to read the whole page, instead of having to highlight the whole page, I can just pull down with my 2 fingers.
Facts about Romans for kids. Roman Britain homework help. Roman army. The Italian flag. Romans came to. English flag. Britain nearly 2,000 years ago and changed our country. Even today. Evidence of the Romans.
Now you can play about with that. You can change the voice actually. You can change how fast or slow it speaks to you. But that's the basics of Speak Screen, which is a really useful tool. Now if I come out of there and go into notes, as if I want to maybe take some notes for a topic. Okay, I could on my new note maybe decide I want to write about the Romans. And I want to use some of those ideas from the web page. So if I pull up from the bottom and I drag my Safari over, okay, then I'll get it at the side. If you want exactly a half and half screen, I found you need to kind of pull down and swipe right, and it makes it a sort of split screen like that. Now what I can then do is I can take whole chunks of this text and I can copy it over. Okay, I can actually even copy images over by just dragging and dropping. And then I could, if I wanted to do some of the hard work myself, I could also just have a look at this page and read a little bit and then write it myself. Okay, now the only problem with notes is that it doesn't spell check, and if anyone has been extra observant you'll notice that I've done a few spelling errors there and it doesn't spell check for me. However, I can then either use my text speak, if I can get it to highlight. Let me just see if I can get it down here. It's not wanting to do that. What I can do is use my 2 fingers.
The Romans. The Romans came to Britain nearly 2,000 years ago and changed our country. Even today, evidence of the Romans being here can be seen in the ruins of Roman buildings, forts, roads, and baths can be found all over Britain. The Romans lived in Rome. Comma image attachment. Large.
Okay, now you'll notice that when I was listening to it, it said the Romans lived in Rome, and that might make me want to change my spelling if I thought that I had written it wrong. You could also use the speak screen over here.
Who were the Romans? The Romans lived in Rome, a city in the centre of the country.
And you could listen to your web page again as well. Okay, I'm just going to try again to see if I can get it to highlight. There, it kind of worked.
Ruins.
It worked a little bit there, yep. So I can highlight individual words and hear them.
Britain.
Okay, so that is a really useful feature if you have got a bit of work to do. And remember, some work might need to be handwritten, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with producing a lot of your topic work and things like that using a computer or an iPad and word processing it or typing it. I think that was most of the things I wanted to show you. I just wanted to quickly go back into Microsoft Word actually though, because it actually is a lot better for spell checking and dictating. So let me just quickly open a blank document. Okay, well here's one I've done earlier for you. I was typing up and I was trying to write the Romans were great people, but my spelling isn't great, and you can see that because a lot of words are underlined in red. But I can use, just by clicking on those words, I can use the spell checker for most of the words.
Were.
Were.
W-U-R.
No, that's not the right word. Let's try this one. Great. Yes. People. No. Want to change that. Is that how you spell it? Aha, there it is. Okay, so Word is pretty good at spell checking most things for you. And remember, again, you can use your speak text or speak screen to check if it sounds right.
The Romans were great people.
Okay, another great feature with Word is that on your keyboard you have this little microphone at the bottom beside the space bar, so you can actually just dictate your notes and ideas. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. If you've got great ideas for a story and you just don't know how to write them down, you can speak it. I went to visit the Roman wall in Bonnybridge. It was really interesting. Okay, now again there's a few words that I don't think it picked up because of my lovely Scottish accent, but if you listen back to it, you might be slightly better at getting, there we go.
I went to visit the Roman wall in Bonnybridge. It was very interesting. I learned lots of facts about where the Romans had their fort and where the commander slept.
Slept, that's not what I meant. I meant slept, so I want to change that myself, and there we go. Okay, so just a few tips for you there as well. Hopefully that helps. And then the final thing I was going to show you was, if you look here, I have an app called Seeing AI. Now this app is free to download and you can use it to read pages from a book that's not an ebook, from a real bit of text. So I've just got a storybook here. Let me open it up.
Short text.
Okay.
Through. Little Red Riding Hood lived with her mother and father in a small near the edge of one large forest. Her father was a woodcutter. Industrial worked all day in the forest. Little Red Riding Hood loved her grandmother just as much as her grandmother loved her. Nearly every day she went along the path, through the forest, to visit her. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said, "Little Red Riding Hood, I have put a cake and a bottle of blackcurrant juice in this basket. I want you to take them to your grandmother. She is ill and they will do her good. Dad,
Okay.
keep to the path and do
Okay.
not wander off into the forest."
Okay, so hopefully you got the idea there. You maybe wouldn't want to listen to that voice if you were reading a huge bit of text, but if you just come across something in daily life that you think, I can't read that and I really want to be able to, you can just hold Seeing AI, hold your iPad up to the text and it will read it. So hopefully those little tips have been helpful. Just like with myself, you might need to practice a little bit before you become really slick at using those different tools, but I really think they will be helpful. So I hope that helps. Thanks, bye.